Hello my friends and welcome back to King's Bounty. So, this is going to be a sniping episode and a discussion of the meta of King's Bounty here. So at this point, we've reached a point where all of the enemies are pretty much not beatable without taking some losses. And the mage character really needs to not take any losses if you are going to succeed. Because leadership is very poor, and the bonus for winning fights without taking losses is enormous. And you want to get that bonus under your belt as quickly as possible. You know, among other things, we haven't really unlocked the things that we need that make this character good. We don't have the ability to cast 2 spells per turn, which is huge, and is probably the next thing that we're going to grab when we can grab it. And we haven't grabbed the 2nd level of chaos magic, which will allow us to really put the slap down on the enemy. I mean, order magic would also be nice. So there's a lot that we need to get and need to do. Now, the previous meta of the game was to grab inquisitors and use them to boost your rage and also revive your, any little losses that you took, they could revive. But that meta will not hold up past this point. So what we need to do now is we need to switch metas to a different one. And that meta that we're going to switch to is the robot meta. Now, in order to switch to that meta, of course, that means we've got to snipe some repair droids. And you're not supposed to have access to repair droids so early in the game, but you can get them. So maybe you are supposed to have access to them. Anyway, in order to get them, it does involve doing a drive-by here. And this is really quite tricky to do, and when I see other YouTubers do it, they save here and it takes them 2 or 3 attempts to do it. And I am going to try and Iron Man my way through the whole lot. So, as I mentioned before, the other guys playing this game have got camera mods so that they can get a great big overview of the map. And then they use that camera advantage to plan out when is the right time to run in. But I am not using those mods, which honestly, considering what you're trying to do here, that really is like cheating, because it does give you a huge advantage if you've got bigger, better camera. But you basically have to avoid the archer and hope, like here, they've got the bears in position. You've got to avoid triggering these 2 bears, and this bear will move in, but you can move up behind the other bear. You can grab that crystal if you want, but it's not worth it in my opinion. Because who cares? It's just a crystal. You can't trigger them. You must not trigger them, because if they follow you, then they park themselves outside the vendor and you can never get away. So, as soon as that bear... Oh my god. It's a bit random, the patrol routes on these. As long as I hang around about here, I'm fine. At this point, I'm still safe, because I can evac. Down here, I can evac, and I will get away. Once you're committed, you're committed. That's it, we're committed. Go! So, we want to buy from this guy guard droids and repair droids, and we want to stockpile some of them, but not right now. So let's run in. So in here, there's a lot of stuff that we can grab, and there's a lot of slow enemies that we can deal with. And that is no problem whatsoever. These archers are now useless to us, so we're going to dismiss them. These 2 we want to keep, but we're going to garrison them for later use. Now what we can do actually is we can get more guard droids. There's actually a different place where you can buy them. But you cannot buy more repair droids without coming to this place, which is not easy to get to. So you want to buy some extra repair droids to shuffle in as your character improves. So there's three enemy robots patrolling around here, but they're slow and relatively easy to avoid. So you can pick this place clean if you're careful. Oh, great. I think he goes left here, but we'll see. Nope, he's forward traffic. Let's cut around him. Just gotta be careful not to trigger him. So yes, as you can imagine, there can be a lot of saving and reloading going on here because this is actually genuinely quite tricky to pull off. But it can be done. You just need to think about everything in advance. Okay, he's coming this way. I'm not too concerned about magic crystals because I've got a metric bucket ton of them. And that's not a big deal. Sweet. And that's the place picked clean, pretty much. There are some more magic crystals around, but I wouldn't worry about them. You can always get them later. They don't improve our situation in the here and now. So the next step is to grab another set of repair droids and get the hell out. Just like that. You can also probably buy another couple of repair droids here because our leadership's going up. And then get the hell out of here. There's no point in going up here, it's too dangerous, too risky. But you can grab these. Alright, now we just got the archer to fly past. You can actually grab the scroll and the crystal. You can grab it. He's actually quite slow. But it's up to you as to the level of risk you want to take. But then again, you can just save and reload. That's what the other guys do. They save and reload and just keep trying until they get it. But I'm really trying to avoid that. Because I feel like it's kind of degenerate gameplay. So I have used a thing called practice, and I have practiced. So I could sit down in front of the camera and actually do it. So I must have practiced about 6 or 7 times before I sat down to make this episode to get away with the sniping. Killing enemies is actually easier. So what we do is we garrison our pirates and garrison our inquisitors, and the fairies can just go to wherever fairies go when they die. Just dismiss them, not useful to us. So we have the human meta available for later on, but for now we are gonna live in the robot meta. Another thing you can get rid of is spells, only at this castle. So most of these spells are actually quite good, and it's worth keeping. Scrolls because they don't cost mana to cast. So you might need a little bit of extra something in a battle where your mana has run out, and scrolls give that to you. So there's no reason to get rid of them. They could be useful. Unless they're garbage, like the one I just got rid of, which is just extra archer damage. I don't really find that that's that useful. Dragon arrows is much better for that exact same purpose. Okay, So now we've got our robot meta, but I'm missing extra guard droids. So the way that these work, should really just explain what this meta is about, is the repair droids are pretty tough at 26 defense and 64 health. Not that tough, but tough enough. And then the guard droids are actually really tough. They are 26 defense and they have 100 health. And what's good is, if they get destroyed, then the repair droids can just repair them from death. So you can lose half of your robots and then you can just rebuild them. And unlike Inquisitors, they've not been nerfed in that the repair ability is on a cooldown, not on a one-use only basis. So you can happily keep repairing your stuff throughout the battle and not face any problems. Anyway, since I promised that this would be a sniping episode, I mean, we've got what we needed, and now we could start actually attacking some of the enemies. But I just want to go through sort of more of the things that you can actually do to basically get in and thieve things and then get out. So if we go back to the first island area here, and I can get extra guard droids from, there's like a little hut on the second island. There's a guy who sells them there. They're not so good without repair droids. So if we go back here, there are various enemies that are actually pretty dangerous. Lots of snakes and things. So we can just go around and steal everything that's around here. So the thing about snakes, this is the only thing that you really want to grab. I think you get one chance, which is right now. There we go, perfectly timed. You can grab the eggs as well if you really want, but you can't get the chest without smashing down the snakes. So anyway, going back to what I was saying. There are a lot of fights here that you can win very easily. Well, not very easily, but reasonably easily. But you'll take damage. And if you take damage, then you're not filling out your rewards. And that will come back to bite you in the long term. So, you know, by the time you hit Island 3 or Island 4, you'll be really suffering for the fact that you did not play efficiently from the offset. But what's interesting is, you know, the enemies have very particular and fixed patrol routes, so you can actually study them, and then you can just work out how to get around them, so that you can go and pick stuff up and get way more powerful. You know, I can kill this guy, no problem. But he can be avoided until you feel completely ready, you know, to smash battles down without taking any losses, or, you know, effectively without risk. I think I said in the previous episode, I'd actually read about one guy on a forum, and he had posted about how you could get to level 21 without fighting any enemies in the game whatsoever, which is a bit too extreme for me. I am certainly quite happy to do a bit of sniping because it's necessary. It doesn't feel to me like the game was designed for you to just plow in and actually win the fights directly. Not this campaign anyway. The other ones are, but this one is not. It's like I said before, this one's kind of like a love letter to the players that really understand the game. But I actually find that this gameplay, it's grown on me. I am a turn-based battles player, and I prefer turn-based battles over everything else. But I must admit that it is quite interesting to play in a situation where you are just avoiding fights, basically kiting and running around, learning the patrol routes and stuff. It just reminds me of a stealth game, basically. And I've never really minded stealth games, but I do prefer them when they are actually about avoiding fixed patrols. So a lot of stealth games are revolve around sort of insane stealth mechanic of some description, where you're like monitoring your stealthy bar, let's call it that. So you're monitoring your stealth bar, and then you're picking the exact right moment to usually blackjack them in the back of the head or whatever. And that's fine and everything, but I actually think there's a lot of sort of skill tested in learning the routes, learning the patrols of the enemy, and then picking your moment to go flying past. You know, there's nothing down here, so this bit exists only for this enemy to patrol into, so that you can get past him. Alright, cool. I think we've actually grabbed everything that I wanted to grab in this session. Except a few more guard droids, which are on the Scarlet Wind area. So you can top up your guard droids here. This is why it was important to grab more repair droids that I could shuffle in. Because you can't get them anywhere else. Not early on. This is the hut that we want to go to. Where is he going? You do not want to get caught by him early on. Getting caught on pretty much most of the islands is instant death. Which is why a lot of these guys, they save and they reload, and they save and they reload. No, I don't. Give me the droids. You see he's actually got a limited amount of them as well. Wears out and disappears. Jesus, why would you buy that? I guess if you really wanted to slaughter that vampire. Alright, sweet. So, another part of the meta of the game, which I wanted to talk about in this, because I'm really interested in the meta of this game, and I really wanted to spend some time talking to you guys about it. And that is, excuse me, I don't know why my nose itches today, but it does. There are a number of bosses in the game, and there are a number of scrolls, which we got one just earlier. Wanderer scrolls. And they last a certain amount of time. So here we get plus 30 rage for 2 fights. And there's ones that give EXP as well. So you get extra EXP for X number of fights. And so part of the meta of the game is that you would want to leave a number of boss fights just where they are. And then when you find some of these scrolls, they give you extra strength and extra EXP. You want to pop them off and then come back and kill the bosses, and that's how you get, you know, more EXP, and thus, you know, more power, and thus you're setting yourself up, you know, for a winning position later on in the game. I should have bought the rest of that guy's guard droids and stored them. I don't know why I didn't. That was totally dumb of me. Let's go back. There we go. He actually hasn't got that many, so you can just clean him out. But of course the mage doesn't really have the leadership to run many anyway. Thank you. You don't want to buy dwarves. They may seem like a great idea because they have fantastic ranged capability. And the other one may seem like a great idea because it can repair your robots. But the problem is, they can't repair themselves. So, you create a vector for losing dudes, basically. Enemy ranged units will target your dwarven engineers and take them out, and you won't be able to replace them, and there'll be nothing you can do about that, which will make your life very difficult. I think that troop is nothing but sea dogs, which can be avoided, though they do have sprint. Skeleton and skeleton archer. That's actually only a strong troop, so we may potentially be able to take that one in the near future. Okay, let's pop our droids back into position. Alright, so we're pretty much ready to go. Or ready to start going after enemies. Having sniped our way through everything that we wanted to steal. So I'll show you how they work now. Let's get back to the... So this is kind of where we are. So there are a few bosses here, but there are a few enemies that we can just take down. So here it says equal in strength. The bowmen are a total pain in the ass to deal with. And then over here we have the white. Less of a pain in the ass to deal with, but still with plenty of irritating ranged units. Alright. Let's take this boy down. Oh man, he nuked himself. That's hilarious. That was not meant to happen. Right. Let's drop the bomb on these. These are ranged, so we want to take them down. So are the bowmen, obviously. But we can burn these boys quite severely. So we have a harpoon ability, which allows us to drag enemies, which is also very fun because you can drag them into traps. Fire! Lol. All right. I'm still trying to get trap kills here. Stand by. Zap. Okay, that hurt. But the thing is, it doesn't matter if I take a few losses because I can just repair them. So 528 health I can repair, and it revives units too. Fire! They start splitting the damage around, that's when it starts to become annoying. I can't remember what this does to standard units. 5 to 10, 10 to 20 physical damage. Soldiers with night vision and beholders are blinded. All other creatures below level 5 suffer a 30% reduction in defense. Sweet. I'm gonna send my guard droids over and delete the archers from existence as well. Oh, it hurts me! Oh well, that's fine. Whatever, we can deal with that. So, this is the usual suspect move here. Create a trap. And then push him into it. It's a trap! Nice. A little repeat of that performance and he'll be dead. Okay, just have to remember that we took one loss there, because we will have to replace that. I can just sit here and launch missiles at him all day. We do not have... So I want to make the kill with a spell, because that's one of the categories. And it's not like archers can do anything at this range anyway. Zap. Oh, they're not allowed to target themselves. I needed to split them into two groups. Well, that was fantastically dumb of me. What a grievous error. Oh well, not a big deal. Let's drop a trap here. And then drag him into it. Bonk. Splat. I love it. So I lost a repair droid, which is dumb. Shouldn't have happened, but whatever. But you can see here the guard droids, we can just fix them. So now we're back up to 8, which is exactly what we started with. Nice. What is the actual speed on this thing? 3. Fly away. There's nothing they can do, because I'm faster. Fire! Let's move you down here. Nope. This would have been a hard... To be fair, this would have been a hard mission to... well, this fight would have been a hard one to take no losses on. But would it have been? If I'd have just remembered to split my dudes up, then it would not be a problem. Because as long as you basically just about win, then you can just constantly repair. And that makes life very easy. Fire! So we will annoy this hyena to death. I could just engage it as well, I mean. Ah, that's the wrong unit. Oh well, whatever. Dodge this. Ah, well, why did you move? Huh, he didn't even actually kill one. See, none of this damage that the hyena is doing, none of it will matter. Because I can just go here. And even though we lost a unit, I can repair. So, now we've not taken any losses on this unit. But I needed to split the repair droids into 2 sets. So that they could repair themselves. So, that was a stupid mistake on my part. Alright, there's no more chests. We'll have the dragon make the kill. Alright. So that's the second battle I've... Oh, treasure hunter medal, sweet. That's the second battle where I've actually not won without taking any losses, which is a mistake, but you know, whatever. I'm Iron Manning this, so we just have to accept it. So what I needed to do is to actually... This is really awkward to do. I don't know if you have to hold down shift. There we go. Is to split the repair droids into separate sets. Because they can heal each other but not themselves. Which is totally fine. Alright, I think that is it for now. So next time we're going to just do a load of battles. And see how we get on. But in theory, with the correct setup here with the repair droids and the guard droids, we should be able to now clean up this this island, all of the side quests and everything. And we'll leave the bosses for later, you know, because of what I described earlier with the meta when it comes to boss fights. You want to actually have all these EXP scrolls and stuff ready to go. so that you can then really gain value from all the boss fights. Oh, there's one other thing which I wanted to talk about before we finish up. I learnt this from RamgarMT, so thank you, mate, for pointing this out to me. These are actually upgradable, which I did not know. I thought that you collected them in sets, but they're actually upgradable, so I will certainly pick up this ring at some point, because extra mana is actually quite a big deal for me as the mage. And then get around to upgrading them, but for now, we've now reached the point where the most important thing is to stockpile money and win fights without taking any losses. But at least I added a few more trap kills to my trap kill counter. We're in a very vulnerable stage in the game. Just a few more levels would unlock the abilities we need to actually really start powering through. And that involves getting a lot more kills with fireballs and traps and so on and so forth. It's funny as well. This treasure hunter thing gives you more experience for the treasure that you found, which makes it even more important to go out there and steal all the treasure, because then you're going to get an EXP bonus on all of your future battles, which you wouldn't have had. So just more things to consider when if you're playing this on the hardest difficulty. I can afford to buy order magic now because of the runes that I've managed to pick up. But I'm not going to. I need to get higher magic. I don't really have the mana to actually run 2 sets of magic right now. I need to actually focus on my green runes going into learning, so I get more EXP and more power. More intellect means more damage with spells. And my blue runes need to go into higher magic so I can cast 2 spells at once. And chaos magic so I can get the higher level spells. I'm not sure which is more important, whether it's more important to go level 2 chaos magic first or level 1 higher magic. But I would suspect that it's higher magic so you can pump out more traps. But they're just thoughts in my head. So anyway, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this episode on sniping. I was going to actually try and keep it battle free so that people who like the battles could skip them. But in the end I did a battle just to show off how the robots work, and that was my mistake because I forgot that I needed to split my repair droids so that they could heal each other. But you can see the concept now. So as long as you win and as long as your stack doesn't get wiped, because I believe robot stacks explode when they wipe, then you can just constantly repair forever, and that prevents you from taking any losses, what counts as losses. So that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.